Tim, I want to switch a little bit to the caregiver shortage as well. You run care.com. I have been on that website many times looking for care, full disclosure. And I have personally noticed and over the past couple of years, there is a shortage, especially when you need part-time care. My kids are in school. I don't need care all day long. Um, so can you talk about first, how has the company changed to address that? And is there anything being done to recruit caregivers, get more people into this industry?
Yeah. So during the pandemic, we had a moment of looking and reflecting upon ourselves on what the world would look like post pandemic. And what we found is really flexible care is becoming more of the norm than institutional care. And what I mean by that is the 9 to 5 configuration of care is somewhat obsolete. It's the dinosaur of the industry. So, what we really focused on was being able to give families the choice and option of having configurable care where they could actually have it work for their schedule. Now, whether that is they have jobs that actually require them to go in different hours, different shifts, different periods, all the way through to now the white collar labor force that is working from home more and more. So, providing that configurable care has really been what we call a watershed moment inside the organization. And what that required was being able to go out and recruit a workforce that actually is able to meet that demand. Now, historically in the industry, as everyone is likely aware of, but I'll just say it for the sake, is this has been a labor pool that has been underpaid, underrepresented, has not had the benefits, and has really been marginalized in a lot of ways. And what we have found is that as inflation has occurred, rates have risen. Now, rates have risen, putting more pressure on the family in order to pay, but the rates have risen up to right now over 10% for nannies, full-time nannies, but then also babysitters who are also doing these configurable care jobs have risen up to 7.5%. So we look at that data and we're starting to see more of the actual individuals who are professional caregivers or try to pick up extra hours, the moms who actually have kids now in school who want to actually have more opportunity for income and employment are coming to the platform and working to do the configurable care jobs that are needed necessarily for after school pickup or more of the time frames of 2 to 3 hours when someone might have a meeting in the home. We're seeing more of that labor pool actually gravitate to the platform, which has been a boon for us. Overall, though, the industry is facing somewhat of a crisis in regards to the institutional care, the in-center care. You've seen a mass drain of employees. There's employee shortages inside of daycare centers today. And that's really been exacerbated by what we call childcare deserts. In America today, over 50% of children actually reside in a childcare desert. Childcare deserts defined as not having access to care, either institutional care or any type of care outside of an individual or maybe a family member. So when you look, and in fact, one of the stats that I was actually reading yesterday is there's 3 children for every daycare spot now available, given the
Mm.
shortage of actual employees inside daycare centers. That industry is going through a revolution right now. You're seeing pay raises increase, you're seeing rates increase for families, but it's also putting pressure on the families in and of themselves to make the decision, do I work? Do I not work? How do I afford childcare? This all circles back to there has to be an economic underpinning here of either employers or government to help support that raise and that increase of rates, because that's what's going to continue the labor pool. That's what's going to continue to meet the demand. That's what's going to continue to allow institutions to thrive.